bought a new bike. It's a Priority 600X. Now, if any of you follow Ryan Van Duzer's YouTube channel, you'll know that he had a big part in designing this bike to have just what he wanted. A custom-made frame bag, a kickstand, and all kinds of other goodies. So it comes with a lot of features that someone with experience, not sitting in a corporate office, would like to see on a bicycle. Let's take a closer look. Now, the heart of the bike is the Pinion gearbox. There's no chain to have to deal with anymore. I won't be taking any chain lube with me, which is awesome. Let's take a look at it. Here's the Gates carbon belt, and it's pretty much bomb-proof. No derailleur on the back. And here's the Pinion drive box, 12-speed. And that drivetrain has a 600% differential between high and low gear. Therefore, it's a 600X. If you want to compare it to something, the SRAM Eagle has a 10 by 52 gear range, which gives it a 500%. And this is a 600%. The frame bag fits like a glove. It was custom made by a company out of Boulder, Colorado called Green Guru. The nice part about that frame bag is that it's made of 100% recycled soda bottles. And for my bicycle tours, I'm going to keep my tools and some of the heavier items in that bag. Now, because that bag takes up some of the bosses that you would put your water bottle cages on, I've taken advantage of the mounts on the rear of the bike to put 2 water bottles. Now, I haven't done it for this ride, but I'm also going to have 2 water bottle cages on the front fork. I put another pack on here to house some plastic gloves and various items, some camera batteries. Priority manufactures a very nice top tube bag. It actually mounts to the top tube. It's screwed in, so you don't have a strap that has to go around your stem here. Very nice feature. And Priority also makes a bell that's quite nice, right here. And it is kind of loud. And it has a secret inside. It houses a Apple AirTag, so if you lose your bike, you just might know where it is to go and find it, or have the police go and find it. I added some extra handholds that I got on Amazon, and they're a nice feature when you're riding 50-60 miles a day. Even though the grips that Priority provides are quite nice, they really feel like they're form fit for your hands. And there's also extra hand hold at the end. These brakes are very sensitive. You don't have to pull too hard to come to a complete stop. If you've ever been bike packing with a heavy load, you're always looking for a tree to lean your bike against. Not so with the 600X. And here's the kickstand I was talking about. I also purchased a luggage rack from Priority that's custom built just for this bicycle. I also put on my favorite seat from Infinity Bike. If you're not familiar with this seat, for me it's the most comfortable seat I've ever ridden. Your sit bones actually sit in the pockets of the seat, and you can ride all day. I'll leave their website in the description down below. So enough talk, let's go ride this thing. The Farmington River. Let's see if we can find some single track down here. Well, I got a beautiful day for it. what's my impressions of this bike so far? Well, riding on the single track and on a rocky dirt road, it handles a lot better than my gravel bike. This being a hardtail mountain bike with a front shock and 2¼ inch wide tires. It's a lot quicker on a road like this. But what about on pavement? I have to admit that since it's a little heavier, my Jameis gravel bike is 19 pounds and the Priority 600X is about 33 pounds. So it's a little heavier. And I use lower gears. What does that mean? I go about 3 miles an hour slower on pavement. And what I say is, big deal. It's not a race, is it? For me, it's all about the comfort and the ride and looking at beautiful things like that. I wanted to stop and mention one other thing about this Pinion gearbox. Not only is it trouble-free, it's quiet as can be. In between shifts, you do have to momentarily take your pressure off the pedals while you shift, but you can shift multiple gears. It's quiet, and oh baby, is it nice. So all in all, this is one heck of a bike, and I really like it. I'm looking forward to taking it on my 400 and some mile journey from the Canadian border down to New York City next week. That'll be about a 10-day ride, camping along the way, a couple of motels. Gonna be great. So when I get home, I'm gonna load this bike up with everything I'm gonna take with me on my tour. If you are interested in that, stick around and watch the rest of the video. If you're not interested in that, that's okay. Anyway, have yourself a good day. Well, as I mentioned, after the review of my bike, I was going to put all of the things I'm going to carry on my next tour, which is going to be in about a week from now, from the Canadian border down to New York City. So this is what I've got on the bike. I've got a seat pack here with all of my clothes in it, Ortlieb seat pack. I've got a pannier here. It's an Ortlieb gravel pack that I have my tent, sleeping pad, tent poles, pillow, and things of that nature in it. Got my blinky light here, and if the battery goes dead during a ride, I've got another one mounted right here that I can turn on. In this gravel pack on this side, I've got other camping equipment and some Cliff Bars. I've got about 18 Cliff Bars in there, and believe me, they weigh a lot. In this little bag, I have all of my tools. Don't need any chain lube or any chain brake or anything like that because of my Gates Karma belt. I've got 5 water bottles mounted on here, 24 ounces apiece, 2 in the back, 1 under the seat tube, and 2 on the front fork. I've got my Green Guru frame bag with some of the heavy things in it, like my tire pump, a couple of tubes in case my tubeless tires have a flat that the fluid won't fit. I've got tubeless tire fluid in there and some other odds and ends. In my gas tank, I have a multi-tool, I have my battery to keep my phone charged, and a couple of Cliff Bars in here for easy access while I'm riding. I have 2 Revelate design bags, one here and here. This one, keep my bear spray. I'll be going through the Adirondack State Forest, so bear spray for any bears or any other creatures that give me a hard time. Over in this bag, I keep the camera that I'm using right now. In my cockpit, I have my phone, which I'll have my Ride with GPS map on there of the trail that I'm using. I have my Garmin. I've got my Sony Action Cam so I can get video of my forward movement. Now in the front, I have this Ortlieb handlebar bag, which I keep my sleeping quilt in, which is very similar to a sleeping bag, only a whole lot easier to use. And last but not least, I have my bag here that I keep my personal items in, and I can actually unlatch it quickly if I want to go into a store or anything. As you can see, it's raining, so I want to get back inside. Well, that's the end of the video, and I'd like to thank you for sticking around. You know, in this review, I really didn't get into the technical aspects of the bike very much. There's so much on YouTube. Ryan Van Duzer's channel, Priority Bicycle channel, talks about the Wren fork, talks about the tires, talks about everything. And by the way, one fun fact is these tires that I have on my bike are Goodyear 2¼ inch wide tires. And I looked it up. Goodyear, the first product they made back in 1898, what do you think they were? Bicycle tires and carriage tires for horse-drawn buggies. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm off to New York in a couple of days, and I'll see you later. Thank you.